Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Laratips. In today's video, we'll be looking into another application where we'll be using Vue 3 and Laravel. So what we'll be doing is we'll be looking into how to upload an image file from a Vue.js application using Composition API, and we'll be handling that upload using Laravel API. So basically when we upload an image file using a normal form and submit the form, then we can easily get the image file in the request and we can easily handle that. But when we submit ajax request, then we'll not be getting the image file. We have to perform some extra operations for that. So let's see how to do that. So for that, let us create a new Vue project. Vue create image upload. So I'll be using my preset here, Vue3 router, while we'll be using Vue3 Babel router and ESLint. So let me hit enter. Okay, the project is created. Now let us cd into it and let us run yarn serve. Also, if you haven't watched my previous tutorial about Laravel and Vue.js application where I have built a to-do application using Vue3 and Laravel API, so you can go ahead and watch that. So let us visit this. So by default we'll be getting all these. Now let us open that in a code, VS Code. So here I have installed the router. So when we go into the router here, it will, when we visit the home page, it will go to the home component. So let us remove that. We only need one component. Okay, now if we go to the app here, let us remove this routing as well, and also let us remove all these styles. Now if we, here inside the home components there is hello world component, let us remove that as well. And inside the views we have about, and let us remove that, and we have only home. So here this is home. Let me remove this here. Okay, now if I go here in the browser, you can see here we are only seeing the home. For styling I'll be using Tailwind CSS, so let me install that as well. And also I'll be using Axios to send the ajax request, so let us install that as well. So I'll set up the Tailwind CSS and I'll again come back. Okay, now what I have done is I have added this tailwind.config.js file from the tailwind.js website here like this, and I have added this post.css.config.file where we are requiring the Tailwind CSS, and in the main.js, so I have added this asset.main.css, and here in the main.css we have these lines. So you can see this in the Tailwind documentation. If we add these lines, then all the classes will be generated automatically. Okay, now if I go to our serving, let me stop the server and rerun again. Okay, let me open that. We can see here home. So now let us give some gray background to the body. If I go here in the home page, we can say class equals to bg 300, and let us see here in the, so you can see here the background has been turned into gray. So let us create the UI to upload the image. So for that, let us go to the home.view here. So I have added these styles, and if we go and see in the browser here, we'll see it like this. So here is our input file and here is a submit button. By default to the input file we cannot give a v model because the v model is not, let's say we say image. Now we can see here error here because it is saying that v model directive does not support the file input type, so we have to handle it in a different way. So let me just remove it. Now what we can do is, now in the change event we can perform some action. So at the rate change, so we can do it like this. So now let us create a setup method here, setup method, and now here we have to return anything that we need in this template file. So let us return this, and let us make a function here. here we will receive the event, JavaScript event that will occur whenever we click on this image. Now if I log the event, now let's see what we get here. Yeah, let me open the console here. Now if I choose the file, let's say this file here, now you can see here I'm getting this object. Here we can see event, target, and here inside the files we will get the file that is being uploaded. Here you can see the file name and modified date and all those kind of things. Yeah, so we'll be getting an event.target.files. So let us use that. Also, let me show you one thing. So now if I have already selected an image file, so if I open this dialog and if I cancel it, now if I show you here in the event.target .files, then we will be getting an empty file list. Yeah, so let us handle that as well. Now what we can say is if event dot length equals to 0, so let us not do anything, let us return from here. And if there is some file there, so we will be taking the first file from there. So let us create a reactive variable for that. Let's say image file here, and let us import this as well. So you can see here it is being imported here. Now here we can say image file dot value is equals to event dot target dot files 0. Since here we will be 100% sure that the length of these files will always be greater than 0, so we can now access it like this, greater than or equal to 0. Yeah, so first index of the array will always be 0, so now we can access it like this. It will not throw any error. So we have assigned that value to the image file here. And whenever a file is selected here, let us show the visual representation of that file. So let us show an image here. For that, let us create another reactive variable, let image URL like this. So we have got the image file here. Now we have to watch the image file. If the image file has a value, then we will be showing the image here, and otherwise we will not be showing that. Yeah, so for that we have to define a watcher. So we can define a watcher like this in Vue 3. So watch here, and it is imported here. We have to give what we want to watch. Yeah, image file, we want to watch the image file, and we have to pass callable here, closure. Now we can say let file reader equals to new file reader dot read as data URL, and we have to pass the image file here, and we can get that image file here as well. So we have done file reader dot read as data URL, and after that we have to add event listener to it. File reader dot add event listener. So when the image is loaded to this file reader, then we will call a closure image URL dot value is equals to file reader dot result. So this will give the base64 encoded form of that image, so which we will be assigning to this image URL. So we are using dot value because in order to assign any value to this ref reactive variable, we have to access it via dot value. So we have done this. Yeah, now let us return that as well. Return the image URL from here. Now if now also let me console.log this value here. now here let's say if we upload any image, now you can see here we are getting the base64 encoded string here. Now to show that in the upper part here, now let us define an image here, and src would be image URL. So we don't need to pass dot value here. Vuejs will automatically detect that it's a ref and it will automatically use the value from there. So let us remove this and give some class, and we'll only show this if there is an image URL. So now if we choose a file from here, now we should be able to see that image over here. So now in the view as well, we'll see this image URL. Now if we choose this file and close that dialog without selecting any file, you can see here that it is saying that no file chosen, but also the image is displaying here. So let us fix that first. So if the length is 0, then what we can do is image file dot value, we can set it to 0, as well as image URL dot value, we can set it to empty string. Okay, now if I go here and choose the image, you can see here like this, and if I choose image and close, so we are getting an error here. So we are seeing this error because we are calling the read as data URL here. If you see here, read as data URL file reader, and there is no file because it is saying there is no file chosen, so it cannot receive any file, so it is showing an error. So what we can do is here also we can put a guard clause here. What we can do is if image file, let's say not image file is instance of file, then we'll return it. So we'll only be showing the image if it is a file. Also what we can do is in here in the input type file here, there is an accept key. What we can do is image slash asterisk, and if we do it like this, then in our viewfinder, in this viewfinder, we'll only be seeing image, we'll not see any other file. Let's say we have a videos, then it will not be visible here. So if I refresh here and if I choose a file, let's say this one again, yeah, and now if I choose a file here and again cancel this, now you can see here that image is gone and it is saying no file chosen. So that's been fixed, and now whenever we click on this submit button, we need to send this image file to the server. Now let us do that. So for that, what we can do is here we have a form here, so we can do @submit.prevent. so we are just preventing the default behavior of the form submit. Whenever we submit, then it will reload the page, so we are preventing that. And here handle submit, let's say. So let me just define a method here first, function handle submit, and let us return it from here. So before that, now let us add this image related logic to a separate file. Let us compose that into a separate file. Yeah? So now let us create one folder inside this Accessor. Let's say composables. Let's say use image upload.js. So now what we can do is here export function use image. We can give any name here. So we are exporting. Now let us use this there. So we'll be using this here, and let me import this ref. Now you can see here it is imported here, and again let us cut this, yeah, remove it from here, and let us add it here, and let us also import this watch, and you can see here it is imported here. And now what we need to do is we need to return this file so that it will be available in this view. Yeah, so now we can say return image file, image URL, and handle image selected. So if we do it like this, then we can reuse this code wherever we want. So we have done this. Now let us import that here. So we don't need this as well here. So let me remove all those and let me import. So we have exported this function, and let me get that from. So we can do /composable/uploads.js. so at will be this src folder, and inside the src folder there is a composables, and inside that we have use image upload.js, and we are importing this from there. Now here we can say let this is a function and it is returning certain things like these things. Yeah, and we can just get this inside here. So we are just using the javascript destructuring here. So now it is returning all these things, so just we can copy it here and paste it here like this. So we have destructured it. Now when we handle this submit, we need to send an ajax request. Now for that I have installed that Accessor library, so let me import that. When handling submit, let us send a request to our server. So what we can do is send a post request to our server. So I haven't created a Laravel project yet. I will also be creating that and showing to you as well. So Accessor post. So now here it will contain the URL of the server to upload the image, and it will, and here the data. So I will be showing you first what happens if we pass it as a normal object. Okay, now what we can do is image file. So let us pass in this way, and it will return a javascript promise. Then we can handle it like this using then, and we'll getting a response here, and let us console.log the response here. Okay, now let us create a Laravel project for that. So here if I go into the sites directory and let me create Laravel new image upload. So the Laravel application has been installed. So let me cd into it, and let me call php partition serve. Now if I go into this browser, so we can see here the Laravel application is installed freshly. So and it is being served in this URL. And now if I go here, now I have to use that URL here. So this will be a base URL, and we'll be creating an API. And what we'll be doing is we'll be uploading an image. So it will be image like this. Yeah. So now let me go to the terminal here, and let me open that in the code. Also before that, let us check that we have modified this into this composable method. So let's see if that is working properly or not. So if I go here and refresh the page here, and if I choose a file here and choose an image, so you can see here it is working properly as before. So we have successfully changed that code into a separate composable file, and now we can use this upload image wherever we want. Okay, we have done these kind of things. Now let us go to our Laravel project and let us create an API. So for that, what we can do is, so I have already created a database and whose name is image upload, and let me give a password here. So this is my password. And in order to create an API, we have to go into this routes API. Let me remove all these things and let me create a controller first. And let's say image controller. So I'll also be showing you by uploading an image and saving it into the database. Yeah, so now let us create a route here. So what name did we give to our route here? So we gave upload dash image. The post route here should be image, and our name controller name is image upload controller. Let us give store method here. So now if I go into the image controller, let me define a store method. Okay, so let us see what we get in the logs. Yeah, let me log that there is an info helper in the Laravel, so it will, whatever we pass here, it will log that into our log file. So request all. When I do it like this, so it will get all that we get in this request, basically what we have passed here. Now if I go into this storage logs and laravel.log here, so let me clear the log first, so we can see whatever we have passed from there here. Now here, yeah, so if I go in the network tab here, now if I choose a file, let's say Laravel routing, and if I submit here, now you can see here upload image request has been sent to this API. And if we go here, you can see here it is getting this unnecessary data. So this is happening because we have to pass the image file dot value. And because image file is a ref reactive variable, so we have to, in order to access the value from there, we have to say dot value. Yeah, so let us fix that. And also let me clear the logs here. And if I again go here and again upload, now it has submitted. If we see here, so it is submitting an object. Yeah, now if I go into this here, so you can see here it is receiving an empty array. Yeah, so if we submit the file like this, then it will not work. So we have to do some other work to submit a file to our server using Ajax. So for that, what we can do is we can create let's say let data is equals to new form data. This is the class which is given to us by JavaScript. And now what we can do is data dot append, and now we can say image here, and we can say image file dot value here. Yeah, now the data is ready. So if we pass it like this, then the file will be passed to this API and it will be available in our request. Now we have to pass data here. Now if I go here and let me leave it like this, and let's see what happens if we submit here, what we'll see in the log. Now if I go here and choose the same file and submit here like this, okay, here also we are getting this same thing. Yeah, okay, this is because we are passing it here as an object. We should not do it like this. We should pass only the form data here. Yeah, so it already includes the image inside it, so we should not pass it inside the object. We should directly pass that form data here like this. Now if I go into this network tab here, and if I choose a file from here, and again if I submit like this, now if we see here, then you can see here image contains here binary, so it means it is passing a file. And if I go into this log file, so you can see here now we are getting this object which is illuminate http uploaded file. So whenever we upload any kind of file, Laravel will automatically attach that file to this uploaded file class. Yeah, so we can see the name here as well. Yeah, the name is same that we uploaded. Okay, so now we are getting the file in the request. Now let's see how to handle the upload. Now let me clear this here, and okay, here like this. So to upload a file, we can use Laravel file system. So if we go here inside the app and inside the config here and in the file system, so we can see here by default Laravel uses this local file system, and which will be uploading any file to this storage path app folder. Yeah, so if we upload any file into this local, then we cannot access this using normal URL. And let's say we want to say to, let's say, our application.com/images/ like the image name, then we cannot access because it is not in the public directory. Yeah, okay, for that we have to use this public so that we can easily access. So it is also inside the storage folder, but we run one extra command which is provided to us by Laravel, then we can access that files from that folder. Okay, now let us use this public. For that, what we have to do is we have to copy this key, and let us go to the .env here, and here let us define that as, so if we define it like this here, so it will override this local to this public, and it will use this public disk to upload the images. Now let us go to the controller, and now to upload the images, what we can do is we can access the files from the request like this. We have request file like this, and here in the log, if I undo the changes, so we have received an uploaded image in this image key. So now what we can do is image like this, and if I say store like this, and let's say we want to store it in the images folder. Yeah, now Laravel will automatically upload that file to the directory. Let me show you that. So it will upload to the storage path app public images and the file. So I'll show you here storage path app public, and it will automatically create a folder and it will upload that file here. Okay, let me show that, and it will automatically rename that file for us. So if I go here in the browser, now let me submit this. Yeah, so I have submitted that, and it is giving us the 200 request. Now if I go here, now you can see here, we can see this file here. Yeah, and if we open that file, then you can see here we are getting the same file here. So we can upload an image file or any other file like this. Now let's say we don't want this random name over here. We want the name of the image that we have uploaded from our front end. Yeah, that will be handy for SEO purpose. So this random name will not be good for SEO. Yeah, so let me remove this file. So for that, Laravel has a helper method called store as, and we can pass the second parameter as image name. So we haven't the image name variable here, so let's say for now image name as equals to something. Now how to get this image name? We can also get that from here. So if we say image full name, and from here we say get client original name. So if we call this method, then it will get the full name of the image with extension. Now if I pass it like this here, so let me remove this variable. So if I pass it like this, now let's see what happens. Okay, so the name of the image is Laravel routing.jpg. Now if I submit, and if I go here and in the storage, we can see here the same name is being passed here. So we can give the custom name to the image file that is being saved as well. Okay, now we know how to upload the image. Now let's see how to save it to the database. So for that, let us create a model. Let's say image, and let us also create migration for that. Images table file, which is inside the migration folder here inside the database folder. Now let us give a name table string as image here. Okay, like this, and let us migrate that. So as you can see in the env file, we have already specified the database connection, so when we migrate, then it should pass. So it is also migrating all these other migration files, because these 3 migration files are by default present in the Laravel project. So let's leave that as it is and let us focus on this one. And if I go into the database here, so this is the database. Now if I refresh here, so you can see here all the tables are available, and this images tables is also available here. So it has all the columns that we have defined in the migration. Now to save that image here, what we can do is we can save that image using the model. Say, let's say $image is equals to new image. Let's say image equals to, let's give us image name and image save. And let us return the response here. Response as a JSON, and let us return a message here. Image successfully uploaded. And with that, let us return all the images from here. Images, and let us get all the image from the database like this. Okay, now let me go to the Tinkerwell and let me show you after saving the data what it will show. For that, let me remove this file first. And if I go to this browser and if I again submit it, so when we submit, this thing is not being clear, so we'll fix that as well later. Now if I go here in the file system, we can see that file, and again if we go in the here in the table, now we should see this image as well. So we are able to upload the image as well as save it into the database. Now if I go in the Tinkerwell and if I call this image get here, now you can see I am getting all the image, but here in the image I am getting only the file name. I am not getting the full URL. So for that, what we can do is we can create an accessor for this. So if you don't know what do you mean by accessor, then you can look my Laravel basics video tutorial, so you can find a clear explanation of that. So if I go into the image model, so we can say public function get image attribute, and here we'll get the image, and that image is being stored in this storage app public images and Laravel routing. Yeah, so we can only access the files which are inside this public folder. So for that, Laravel has a command php artisan storage link. So if I run this command, then you can see here this new storage folder is being here. So this is just a symlink. Look at it. If I click here, so it will show me the images. This images is from here, storage app public images. Yeah, so it will create a folder here, storage, which will symlink to this public folder. So whenever we go to let's say public/storage, then we'll be able to access all the data inside this public folder. And now what we can do is return. Now you can, let me also show you here in the file system. So in the public, what we can see here, the URL here. Yeah, so it is basically saying go into the env app URL and /storage and whatever we pass in that URL. So in the app URL, if we see here in the .env file, so currently there is image upload.test. So let us fix that and let us add this same thing that we have used in our API here. Yeah, since we are serving our application using PHP artisan serve, and it is being served in this URL. Okay, after that, to get the URL, what we can do is as storage URL, and we can give a path here. So it is inside image slash and dot value. So this value is whatever we get here in this image, and it will pass it here. Now if I refresh here, we are not seeing any URL here, so we'll only see that URL if we convert it into the array. So if I do it like this, then you can see here a full path of the image is given here. And whenever we return here in the response JSON, it will automatically convert this into array, and that URL will be available. So now what we are doing is we are uploading the image, saving it to the database, and returning the images and the message. Now let us go into the client side, and let us create some variables here. So let's say let message equals to ref, and here let's say it's empty for now, so it is being ported here. We have a message, and also let we have the images that is being returned from the server. So we'll do ref here, and we'll pass it here array. So we can use reactive as well as ref here. Yeah, okay, now we'll get here response. Yeah, so we can also see in the console for now. Let's say here currently it is showing error, so I will fix that as well. So here whenever we submit an image, then we are seeing this in the response, since we are logging here. Yeah, so what we can see here in the data, we can see here images and message. Now what we can do is message dot value is equals to response dot data dot message, and similarly for images, what we can do is response dot data dot images, like this. And after the data is being saved, we can also say image URL dot value is equals to empty. Let us reset that as well, and image file dot value to also empty. Let us reset that as well. Now the error should be gone here. We have got this message here, and let's show whenever the image is being uploaded. After the image is uploaded, let us show the message that that is being returned from the server, and let us show that here for now. Okay, let's say div, and let's give it a class as busy dash 600, and let us keep b dash 4, and let's say here message, and we'll only be showing this if there is a message. Also we'll be listing that images as well. So after let me show you first this, and after that we'll also list the images as well. So here in the network tab, let me go and let me choose a file here. Let's say Laravel let remitting, and if I submit here, now you can see the image is uploaded successfully, but we cannot see the message. Yeah, this is because that we haven't returned a message from here, so we should always return this message. So we don't need this image file. So let us try again. Let us choose a file. Let's choose the middleware for now, and let me submit. Now you can see here it is saying image successfully uploaded. So there is no gap in between this. So let us create that as well. Let's say MB-8. So now there should be a gap between this. Okay, after the image is uploaded, let us show the list. Yeah, for now let me show the list here at the bottom here. For that, let me just show it here for now. So what we can do is we have got that images in the images variable, so let us return that as well from here. So we have to pass here key so that the Vuejs would be able to update whatever inside this div. Whenever something changes in this images array, it will be easy for Vuejs. If we don't pass here key, then it will be a little bit difficult, but in such simple cases it can easily handle that. Now what we can do is image, and in the src what we are getting here, let us see in the Tinkerer. So we are getting here image. Yeah, so what we can do is here, let us bind this and let's say image.image here, and let us give class here like this. So if we go here now let us upload another image from here, let's say this one, and if I submit here, now you can see here the images are being shown here, but we cannot see the images. So we can see the list but not the images. So you can see here http storage image laravel let remitting.jpg, but if we see here in our server, so it is images. Okay, so here we need to make it here images. Yeah, okay, let us again choose another file. Let us choose this one and let us submit now. So now you can see here we can see all the images like this. So let us also show this in a nicely. So what we can do here is we can just use this here like this, and we can say class flex and flex wrap, and if we give, let's give shadow and round it like this. So flex will make this in row, and flex wrap will wrap if the width is more than that of our current window width, and this will give some styling to the images. So you can see here where these images are being styled. Okay, for that also let us give empty8 as well here. Now you can see here these are shown here. Also there we also need to give some margin bottom to all the images. Let's say MB4. Now you can see here we have now uploaded the image to the server, and we have shown the message, and we have listed all the images. So in this way you can upload a single image from the Vuejs to the Laravel API using ajax request. So that's it for this video guys today, and in the next video we'll be looking into how to upload multiple images to the server. Yeah, and we will also be showing the multiple images in the view whenever we select from here as well, and we will also be add the ability to remove the image by clicking on the image as well. So that's it for this video guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.